Money. Work out? Yeah, that's better. Thanks. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Helpful to say money and honey. Money and honey. Yeah,
Money, honey.
Money, honey.
All about the money, honey. Okay. Is there a line or no?
This is theirs.
I think he's going, right?
This is their.
Let's go. Let's go.
You right?
They'll say the
Sorry, am I choking you?
started.
No.
But this is their fee.
Okay.
Okay, now I have to look at your hands.
Oh,
Oh my God! Oh, really? Okay.
Well, you can touch them. They're just, that's why they look kind of
Is this like your own little Pandora thing? Is that the? These must all have meaning, right?
Camping symbols.
It's all camping.
I was camping before I was born.
For real?
Yeah, my parents
God, I love
really
it.
got me into it. So,
I love it.
and I've always hated my hands. Like, they're just big and fat, and I've always hated them. So now I'm kind of starting to like them because I've got
I
the
get to
cute
look at my little
tattoos. So,
thing. Oh, marshmallow, got it, Lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool. Now I'm dying to see what's under there.
oh my,
Are you like all tatted up, like your whole body kind of thing?
probably like 40%.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you start with that?
When I was 18.
you guys know you're on the card.
Or what?
Everything you say.
Good. All secrets. All the secrets. That's kind of good to know. To watch this thing, huh?
40% tattoo.
First it was,
45%.
No, I was just
that's good to know.
will have a ratio. Oh, yeah, they probably know that.
Yeah, I don't have one yet.
No.
Yeah, I've always liked it. That'd be so cool. I just never had it.
So this is
My husband and I both were like,
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
it's so pretty. But we said, like 10-year anniversary. If I don't kill him before then, that we do something around our wedding ring or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, what should I say? I'm like, oh, it'd be really cool. He said, married. Maury. Oh, yeah, okay.
big
You
picture.
got it. Everything's
Okay.
good.
So I'm not going to cut any of it off. I'm just going to minimize it, and then we'll put the rest of the mics when they're done.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, we got it too. It's for the same thing?
One for the file, one for the first.
Be in a cold car.
I'm here, Karen.
Oh, this is.
Okay. You need to sign something?
Some people I just
She's like, I don't need your signature, but that's fine.
Here we go.
You don't vote anyway. Put my name down. I definitely have it.
But still, it's your right.
Thank you.
And she put her
Oh yeah, and you did something too. Yeah, because you can see it now. Like, part of your forehead figures.
He's coming down.
Oh, yeah.
I bought
You can look away and that's a technique.
when I walked out.
No, probably not.
safe. Now, you know I come back home, because it's freezing the snow. You just walk along your, you know.
I make the turn.
Okay.
Great.
I don't like one of those, and that's.
You got an hour, Emily.
You don't hear me. Look better. No, but I had one.
Get that fan.
I make the turn. And I'm standing.
I'm glad.
I'm just doing something slow. I'm alternating now between.
Are you serious? Oh, wow.
As much.
Wow. What a catch.
Yes.
Yeah. It was not a small piece of lettuce.
On your teeth?
Yeah.
It was over towards the side. Peter was trying that. He was trying that. Don't sabotage him.
See, I always thought that was
He's just starting his
perfect.
second tenure.
It's just
I just realized Peter's thinking of running.
Exactly.
That bar,
Exactly.
she's putting that bar.
Very taking it out.
Let's see. Turn your body this way. Let's put it in the first contact. Hands by your side, kind of open. Come up there.
Even now, I'm really busy racing.
I can't imagine. So what are we supposed to do?
No. Turn your body down just a little bit more, and then turn your face towards me. Yeah. There we go. Good. Fantastic. Very good. Good. Good.
Sunday before, I mean, let's take it, yeah.
Good.
So then,
Okay.
I have a year paid. No, but, you put, you do trade.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's keep in mind.
No, I'm like, hands, but
Because then I should take my, yeah, you know, because I don't want to share my story, so I probably won't have to.
Anyway.
Turn your body this way.
First time I used to go to the
And I turn your face this way. Yeah. So just like so your body will always in this direction. You don't have your body going the other way.
It was the situation that
Good.
be honest.
Yeah.
It's the place, the big
Yes, he is.
shops are some sort of place.
He just got back.
So I'll start putting money aside. I'll probably get it. April, May,
Yeah, there we go. That knows not.
Okay.
Oh, really? That's your last year. Then what happens is they bring out your doors, the rubber.
I do it.
I don't think I can go back.
I got one. Okay, I got cards.
So you're really good.
No, now your face is. Yeah. guy running Victor. Look at Victor, you can turn towards him just a little bit. And this is the guy that's going down a lot of money. Just a little bit.
Like his shoulder?
Yeah, there we go.
Let me go somewhere.
Sit down and push your glasses down just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I heard it. He was in all right, refresh that. Come on now.
Okay.
Two. Okay, what's the record 900?
I know. Can't lose it. Yeah. No. No, I've been looking for him.
Steve is here. You could ask Steve.
Spreading the records, do I ask for a motion to do
Yeah,
that?
just a motion.
And then get all approval and go?
If not, if she comes in.
Catherine. There she is. There she is. We're going to call out there. We'll see. Hi, Jesse. Don't trust him. Are we
I guess 657. We have 657.
Mr. Fair? Do we adjourn with the We Go Bama?
Connie?
Do we adjourn with Go Bama?
No. Roll Tide.
He must have been fun.
So, Rob, the way it should be when the meeting is convened.
I never do.
They can know, so, just too long. January 216. You are back to the future. You didn't see that? You didn't. Yes.
I don't know if I should tell you this, but Gavin said he's never going to yield minutes to you.
Oh, for real? Gee, John.
Can't let this all go on. Find out what John needs to talk about.
I'm telling you. I guess I have to think about lunch.
One minute.
I think you get this all right.
What's that?
The meeting's all right.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, website.
The city website.
Yep, you can go to the city website and stream it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
As well as get to one on 99. And they're live on 99? They're live on the city website too.
Yeah,
I believe the city website will be live. That's what I was talking.
Even at the south.
Please rise. The Monday, January 11th, 2016 Common Council meeting is now in session. Our invocation tonight is by John P. Warren, Chairman of the Pokagon Band of the Potawatomi. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and thanks City, South Bend City Council, and everyone in the room. If you don't mind, I'm going to say a few words in the original language of this land, and that's the Potawatomi language. I also brought a eagle feather that we always hold in our left hand, and the eagle intervened on our behalf a long time ago. It's not that we worship the eagle or anything, but it intervenes on our behalf when we're incapable of doing so for ourselves. I'd like to say, well, when I'm a shumsnanek, the G dub, wetchmakak, mean a wetchata, mean a wetchkabish smoke, mean a wetchkasinyak. Beyond showing the gom, I always open my goy gom. When I'm a shumsnanek, chakago I toyak, and moyak at notman, we dochka go. We do no koznan meaning the gan zeman, mish quez wen, no vamats wen, no week do that one, we dochka go. We know go niganji iguan. Kwama ag, Nishnabe quack nan, Panuajak nan, Kakiajik nan, Duchi Momen, Chicago at Toyak, we dochka go. I asked all those spirits, all those beliefs from all the four directions, no matter what religion you're at, to ask the one that created all of us to come here today to help us. I ask that one that created all things to hear our prayers, and this is what we ask for. We ask the Father and all His helpers to give us strength, give us good feelings, and a good life, and this is what we ask for. Not only for today, but for in the near future. We also ask the Creator of all things to watch over our veterans and all those that are fighting in all these cruel wars all over the world. And please give blessings to our veterans. And also, finally, we ask that you watch over all our women, all our children, and all our elders. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Fowler, roll call, please.
Regina Preston.
Here.
Randy Kelly.
Happy to be here.
Joe Broden.
Present.
Dr. Varner.
Present.
Mr. Oliver Davis.
Present.
Mr. Furley.
Here.
Mr. Gordy.
Present.
Councilmember White.
Present.
President Scott.
Present.
All present.
Thank you. Report on subcommittees and minutes, please.
To the Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the December 14, 2015 and January 4, 2016 organizational meetings of the council and found them to be correct.
Move to accept the report from the subcommittee on minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Under special business, before we start, Mr. Davis, I just want to say welcome to the new members and to this 42nd meeting of the Common Council of the City of South Bend. So, from the 2nd District, Regina Preston,
Thank you.
Randy Kelly in the 3rd, Joe Broden in the 4th, Dave Varner in the 5th, Oliver Davis in the 6th, John Vorty at large, Gavin Thurlick at large, and Karen White.
Thank you.
So, I'll be looking forward to working with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you are? You in the 1st. And I am Tim Scott in the 1st. So, and just a couple housekeeping really quick before we turn it over to Mr. Davis. Bill 8115 regarding 3575 Monroe Court is continued. So is 8015 Vacate Alley, California, and Sherman. If you're here for those two, those are continued. And one other note, if you're here about Elbel Golf Course, this is a technical portion of the Common Council where the meeting is set for first reading and assigned to the appropriate committee. There will not be any comment being heard or made on Elbel at this time. There will be plenty of time later. We'll get into that under unfinished business. And if you are thinking of speaking under privilege of the floor on LBEL, you cannot, because it is actually on the agenda. Anything that is on the agenda cannot be discussed during privilege of the floor. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. Now, I will turn it over to Oliver Davis and Karima Fowler for reading of 8115. Nope, I'm sorry, 15104.
15104, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly thanking Catherine D. Hostetler, Director of the Historic Preservation Commission of South Bend and St. Joseph County for her 11 years of leadership.
Good evening and Happy New Year, Council. I'm glad to be here to present to you Resolution 15104. Stand close. Thanks. A resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly thanking Catherine D. Hostetler, Director of the Historic Preservation Commission of South Bend and St. Joseph County for her 11 years of leadership. Whereas the South Bend Common Council notes that in 1973, the City Council and the St. Joe County Council passed ordinances which created the Historic Preservation Commission of South Bend and St. Joseph County, who identifies buildings, structures, sites, and objects which are architecturally or historically significant in our geographic area. And whereas since 1973, approximately 150 local landmarks, 9 local historic districts, and several National Register districts and single properties have been designated throughout the City of South Bend and St. Joseph County. And whereas the Common Council further notes that the Historic Preservation Commission has also identified approximately 6,000 other structures and sites in architectural surveys as contributing notably or outstanding references and examples of the history of the area. And whereas for 11 years, Catherine D. Hostetler has been the Director of the Historic Preservation Commission, who worked closely with the 9 volunteers who serve on the Commission, having served on the Commission herself since 1994, and was instrumental in promoting the preservation of historic City Cemetery, which is the final resting place of our 17th U.S. Vice President Skylar Colfax, South Bend's first Mayor William A. George, the parental grandparents of U.S. President William McKinley, John Alton, who was the first soldier from St. Joseph County killed in the Civil War, Enoch R. Weiss, a Medal of Honor recipient, and many others. And whereas some of the many advancements made under Catherine's guidance and leadership include expanding HPC services to residents, offering hands-on repair workshops and historical tours, and opening their offices' archives to provide opportunities for individuals to conduct local historical research. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, as follows. Section 1. The Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, is proud to publicly honor Catherine D. Hostetler for her dedicated service for the past 11 years as the Director of the Historic Preservation Commission of South Bend and St. Joseph County. Section 2. The Common Council wishes Catherine and her husband William all the best in the years ahead and hopes that they will continue to enjoy the many historical sites and events throughout our community. Section 3. This resolution shall be in full force in effect from and after its adoption by the Common Council and approval by the Mayor. And it's truly an honor to present this resolution tonight. Got a chance to work with Ms. Hostetler when it came down to our city cemetery. And we have several more items to bring back to this council and to the mayor this year regarding that. But over the time that we worked together, it was a good opportunity to really learn about the history of our town. And history gives us a new insight into our present and helps us to plan for our future. And so I'm very thankful and honored to have worked with her and worked with you, and we wish you the best as you move into our area of history. Yes. We would like to hear from our council, starting with however you want to do it.
We'll start with Ms. White, please.
Okay. Well, Catherine, I wish you the very best. It's always been a pleasure working with you. I commend you on your passion to keep the historical elements within our community, from Noonan School all the way to Marquette. Your level of commitment to the city and to the welfare of our buildings and programs and to preserve our history goes without, Mayor, you've just been outstanding. I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service to South Bend and for helping preserve our great history.
Thank you.
Likewise, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you very much.
Catherine, thanks for all your good work and the years you put in trying to preserve these interesting parts of the city and of our history. Thank you so much, and best wishes in retirement.
Thank you.
I missed the opportunity to work with you, but thank you for your long and dedicated service. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Catherine, I've had the pleasure of knowing you for a long time. I consider you a friend, and thank you so much for your work. As you know better than anybody, our history helps frame our identity, and your work has been so important. Thank you so much, and all the best to you.
Thank you.
I've also not had a chance to work with you, but I certainly know your work. That wonderful list that I've heard of, and I just want to thank you so much. You set a high bar for those coming behind, and I hope that we can tap your resources, interests, and support in the future as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Catherine, as owner of a house from 1890 and coming before you, I want to thank you for the windows and the fence. And a lot that you guys do is not appreciated and sometimes not quite understood. And we appreciate for the due diligence and all the hard work that you and everybody at HPC has put in. So thank you.
Thank you very much, and I would like to accept this acknowledgement on behalf of all the preservationists that have come before me, and on behalf of all the homeowners in South Bend that live in historic districts and own landmarks that had enough confidence in the city of South Bend to put their money where their mouth was, basically, and encircle the whole of the downtown area with historic districts, both local and national, that allowed for this beautiful renaissance that we're seeing right now. I don't think it would be happening as rapidly or as forcefully as it is today if it wasn't for the fact of these homeowners living in these historic districts and being dedicated to South Bend. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we'll open up to the public. Anybody wishing to speak in favor of 1504, please come to the podium. Anyone historically wishing to speak against 1504, please come to the podium.
Motion to adopt by acclamation.
Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jim. Yes, thank you. Thanks for sending, John. Thank you. Thank you.
Can someone photobomb now?
Randy.
Just
Say honey in that
Thank you. Okay, now, do we need a motion, Kathy? Or we just, at this point, Karima Fowler would like to swear in her deputies. Karima, take it away.
I gave her one, but that's what I gave it to you.
She got something to say?
It was the snake.
One's for our records. Okay. And the mayor, I think.
Right hands up and repeat after me. I, please state your position. Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana. And the Constitution of the State of Indiana. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of positions. Chief Deputy Clerk. So help me God. So help me God.
So we're now official, right? Okay, item B, election of vice president. At this time, I will take nominations for vice president.
Mr. President, I would like to nominate Council Member Oliver Davis.
Okay, is there a second? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We'll have a meeting soon.
All righty, so,
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to have a spreading of the record for the 2016 standing committees of the South Bend Common Council.
so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. Clerk, there you go.
Thank you. This time, we'll have a report from city offices. Tonight, we're graced with the mayor of the city of South Bend, Pete Buttigieg. Thank you, Mayor.
I wasn't planning on gracing anybody, just greeting, but
It's a new year.
well, thank you. I'll be brief, but wanted to take the opportunity to express my pleasure at working with the council at your first full meeting in the new term. So let me congratulate the newly elected officers of the council. Look forward to working with each of you and with each of the 9 members of the council in your respective positions as committee chairs and as members. Procedurally, there's one time of the year when the mayor officially is called to be before the council, and that's the State of the City address, which is coming up, and we'll be working with the council president to establish a date for that. But you will see me in the chamber on other occasions, most notably during the budget process, and perhaps on other occasions as well during the year. And also look forward to meeting informally with you, one-on-one, as well as working with you during the committee process, caucus process, and any other community processes that call for us to work together. And I know I speak on behalf of all the department heads and everybody else in the administration in both welcoming the 4 new colleagues and expressing our appreciation for the 5 returning colleagues on the council for the opportunity to work with you. I believe that this council is forming at the most extraordinary moment in the life of our city, certainly in my lifetime, in terms of the growth that is happening, and that means there's a lot of opportunity, but also a lot of pressure on all of us in elected office to do the right thing and to undertake our duties diligently. So very much looking forward to working with this body, as well as the clerk, and congratulations, Prima, to you and your team, the council attorney. I have brought every important idea this administration has had to this body for approval. And I would be dishonest if I didn't say that quite a few ideas that have come here were better ideas when they left the 4th floor than they were when I brought them here. So very much looking forward to that collaboration in order to make sure that everything we do succeeds in our goal, our mission as a city of delivering services that empower everyone here to thrive. Again, since you'll be hearing from me very soon in the state of the city, I'll keep my remarks brief this evening, but did want to miss a chance to express my thanks in advance for all of the public service that you're about to give to this city in the next 4 years, and my eagerness to get to work with you on the issues and opportunities that South Bend faces in the months and years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This time, I entertain a motion to rise and become, or to become a committee of the whole.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Check your name, Gavin.
Beautiful. The Committee of the Whole is now in session. The Committee of the Whole portion of the council meeting is where the Common Council sits as a committee. The title of each proposed ordinance is read by the city clerk, followed by a report from the committee chairperson of the standing committee, which held a public hearing on the bill. During the public portion on each bill, members of the public are invited to address the council. Please give your name, address, and comments on your bill. If you have questions, they will be addressed by the presenter during their rebuttal. Each member of the public is limited to 5 minutes.
Everyone in the chambers is requested to turn any electronic devices to their silent mode at this time. I will now ask the city clerk to read, I will now entertain a motion to continue Bill 8115 to January 25th.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Bill 8115 will be continued till the 25th. I will also entertain a motion to continue 8015 to the 25th of January.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 8015 will be continued until January 25th. I will now ask the city clerk to read the title of Bill number 7815.
7815, public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of Southton, Indiana, amending Chapter 6, Article 4, Section 6-10B2 of the South Bend Municipal Code addressing plumbing excavator fees charged by the building department.
Committee report?
Yes, the Personnel and Finance Committee held a public hearing and committee meeting on Bill 78-15. We send this bill to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Do we have a presenter?
Yes, good evening, council members. Chuck Bulow, Building Commissioner, with offices at 125 South Lafayette, South Bend. A previous bill for a fee ordinance change was heard by you and was passed favorably. Unfortunately, one aspect or one portion of that bill had an error in it, and that was the excavator's fee for registration. That should have been a change from $100 per year to $125 per year. This bill encompasses that change, and I look for favorable passage. Thank you.
Are there any questions from council members? Seeing none, we'll open it up to the public portion. Are there any members from the public wishing to speak in favor? Any members wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing none, back to the council. What is your pleasure?
Move for favorable passage.
And move.
Favorable recommendation.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Bill 7815 will go to the full council favorably. I will now ask the city clerk to read the title of Bill number 8215.
8215, public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of Southton, Indiana, establishing a police aid program and fund.
Is there a committee report?
Yes, the Personnel and Finance Committee held a public meeting and committee meeting on Bill 82-15. We send this bill to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation.
Presenter?
John Murphy, City Controller, with offices on the 12th floor. I'm joined by Chris Voros, Lieutenant Chris Voros from the South Bend Police Department. This bill sets up an ordinance to formally authorize the police buy account, which has been in operation for many years very successfully. The account has been audited through the years by the State Board of Accounts. During the recent audit, they recommended and required that we actually adopt a formal ordinance setting up this account. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Are there any questions from council members? Seeing none, we'll move to the public portion. Thank you. Anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing no one, I turn it back to the council.
I move that Bill 82-15 be sent to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? 8215 will go to the full council favorably. I now ask for a motion to rise and report to the Common Council.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Your name?
Good job.
Captain. Your name?
I'm not supposed to state my name at the end.
No.
Full council is now back in session. Ms. Fowler, can we have the third reading of Bill 7815, please?
Third reading on the bill of the Common Council of the City of Southton, Indiana, amending Chapter 6, Article 4, Section 6-10B2 of the South Bend Municipal Code addressing plumbing excavator fees charged by the building department.
Motion for passage.
Second.
Ms. Fowler?
Councilmember Preston,
Aye.
Randy Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden,
Aye.
Dr. Varner,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Furlick,
Aye.
Mr. Gordy,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
President Tim Scott,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. Would you please give third reading to 8215, please?
8215, third reading on the bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, establishing a police aid program and fund.
Move for the passage of Bill 82-15.
Second.
Ms. Fowler?
Dr. Varner,
Aye.
Mr. Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Furlick,
Aye.
Mr. Gordy,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Preston,
Aye.
Randy Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden,
Aye.
President Tim Scott,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. Resolutions, please. Can I entertain a motion to continue 15106
So move.
To 125.
to 125?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Ms. Fowler, would you please give reading to 1601?
1601, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend confirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the City of South Bend, Indiana, known as Lot 4, Portage Prairie Manor 5, South Bend, Indiana, 46601, as an economic revitalization area for a purpose of a 10-year real property tax abatement for Ontario Partners LLC.
Okay, thank you. Who's that?
Good evening, Council. Chris Fielding, Department of Community Investment, 14th floor of this building. Before you have the confirming resolution for the 165,000 square foot building proposed to be built by Ontario Partners. A large portion of the building, I believe 90,000 square feet, will be used to house Pepsi. Sorry, it's the opposite. 75,000 square feet will be Pepsi. 90,000 square feet will be industrial spec space to attract future distribution or manufacturers to the community. They're proposing total investment of $7.8 million, the creation of 15 jobs, the relocation of Pepsi. Total taxes to be abated during the 10-year period would be $850,138. Total taxes to be paid would be $1,552,000. And we do have Mr. Farrick with the partnership. Should you have any additional questions?
Mr. Farrick, could you please give a brief statement?
Good evening. Paul Fair with Holiday Properties, offices located at 227 South Main Street here in South Bend. Thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to come in front of you to discuss the Ontario building. As Chris mentioned, we are building 165,000 square feet with approximately 45% of the building pre-leased to Pepsi distribution. And then we have 90,000 that really is an opportunity, again, for the attraction of a new company into the area or the expansion of a local firm that's looking for additional space. It's a continuation of a product that has had some real success out in this area, and this is the northwest side of town at US 31 near the Brick Road interchange. And we look forward again to making another new and exciting investment in South Bend. Any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
Council, is there any questions? Seeing none, we'll open up to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of 1601, please come to the podium now. Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak against 1601, please come to the podium now. Seeing none, we'll turn it back to council.
Motion to adopt 1601.
Second.
Ms. What, or Ms. Fowler?
Randy Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden. Aye. Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Mr. Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Furley.
Aye.
Mr. Gordy.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Preston.
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you.
Council President Scott, I would like to say that I really like the overview that we've been given in regards to the tax abatement report in terms of looking at the project summary, employment impact, and the total analysis. It really makes it very clear.
I would agree.
I like what they've done so far.
I would agree, thank you. Ms. Fowler, would you give reading to 1602, please?
1602, a resolution confirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as 301 East Sample Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46601, as an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 5-year personal property tax abatement for Mossberg and Company, Inc.
Presenter?
Good evening again. Chris Fielding, Department of Community Investment, 14th floor of this building. Before you have a resolution confirming a resolution from Mossberg and Companies proposing to spend approximately $490,000 on new equipment to expand the capacity at their current plant. They're proposing that this equipment will add at least 2 new jobs. Total taxes that we paid. Total taxes created would be $42,036. Total taxes to be paid over the 5-year period would be $22,768. Total taxes to be abated would be $19,268. And we do have Ms. Crumlish here from Mossberg, if you have any additional questions.
A brief statement, please.
Hi, my name is Jean Crumlish. I'm the Director of Administration at Mossberg and Company, located at 301 East Sample Street. And I just want to say that this tax abatement would help facilitate us reinvesting in our current business. As everyone knows, the printing industry isn't really growing by leaps and bounds, and we're expanding in multiple directions simultaneously. So this would allow us to go in that direction, specifically in our bindery area. So thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Council, any questions? Seeing none, we'll open up to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of 1602, please come to the podium. Seeing none, anybody wishing to speak against 1602, please come to the podium. Seeing none, we'll turn it back to council.
Move for the adoption of 1602.
Second. Ms. Fowler.
Councilmember Brogan?
Aye.
Dr. Vaughn?
Aye.
Mr. Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Furley?
Aye.
Mr. Gordy?
Aye.
Councilmember White?
Aye.
Councilmember Preston?
Aye.
Randy Kelly?
Aye.
President Scott?
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. First reading, please. 0116, Ms. Fowler.
0116. First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving the disposition of real property located at 2695 Alton Road, South Bend, Indiana, 46628.
Motion to send 116 to the Park Committee and set for second and third reading on February 8th. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 0216, please.
0216. First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, establishing a non-reverting unsafe building fund 219, transferring existing funds and amending the Chapter 2, Article 14 of the South Bend Municipal Code.
Motion to send to Personal and Finance 125.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Thank you. 0316, please.
0316. First reading on an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance for a property located at 3620 Seal Court.
Motion
Councilmanic District 1 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Motion to send to area plan and then zoning and annexation for 222. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you. For Mr. Davis.
For clarification, could you explain what the status, what we decided on for 0116, what that means in terms of a public hearing and everything else?
Oh, 0116?
Yeah. I know a lot of people here to make sure.
Let me do it under unfinished business.
Under unfinished?
Yeah, I got some details to that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
0416, please.
Oh, we got some more.
0416. First reading on an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 3101 and 3113 Lincoln Way West, Councilmanic District Number 2 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Motion to send to area plan and then to zoning and annexation for 222.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 0516, please.
0516, first reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving fees for nuisance abatement such as trash, debris, hazardous material removal, and removal of weeds, rank vegetation pursuant to the Indiana unsafe building law.
Motion to send to health and public safety for 125.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 0616.
0616, first reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving fees for securing and demolishing structures pursuant to the Indiana unsafe building law.
Motion to send to health and public safety on 125.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Under unfinished business, 7215, please.
7215, an ordinance amending zoning ordinance and requesting a special exception for property located at 3055 Edison Road, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Motion to send to zoning and annexation on 125.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Under unfinished business, I would like to ask the chairman of Parks that we set 2 public meetings regarding L-Bell between now and the 8th, if possible. I would like to have one here at council and let the administration present to us a myriad of questions I have and I think this council has. And I would also like to ask my council members to send to you, Chair, those questions by 118, so you could collate them and share them with the mayor's office. And then we set, after that meeting, a second public meeting somewhere in the 1st District to discuss that one.
Wonderful. So since we're postponing the second reading to the 8th, I think if we were to hold during our park committee meeting on the 25th, we can have community investment present to us and ask for public input at that point as well.
Okay. Thank you. I have one more thing under unfinished business. The last council meeting, under the last council, we requested a letter be sent to the superintendent of the South Bend School Corp as well as the president of the school corp. We did do that, requesting that we be considered, a council member from this council body be considered a member of the search committee for a new superintendent. So there was no names given out of anybody, if anybody would be willing to serve in that role without any conflict. Mr. Davis as well. So we've sent that letter. I just wanted to report to the council that we have sent that letter and waiting for their reply. Anything else under unfinished business from the council? Mr. Garner.
Okay. With regards to scheduling the park committee meeting on the 25th, was there an expectation and anticipation that in addition to that meeting there would be a separate public meeting? Are you looking just at the public meeting as part of the council meeting?
I was hoping to have the public input at that meeting, but Mr. Scott did talk about having a second meeting as well.
Okay, I thought I would.
Yeah, right.
And there's no schedule on that at this point?
Right.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, with intent of public.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Davis.
Have all of our contact information been updated so the public has that? Okay, so therefore, I would encourage the public to also send us emails, because you can get our emails and numbers through our clerk's office, and that way you should go ahead and email us, the members on the park committee, the chair there, or anybody in your district, questions ahead of time, and that way it could expedite time and give us some time to look at some of the questions that are coming to us in the public and give us some time to do our homework on them. And we can come back more prepared to answer your questions and not just wait for those meetings. So we do read our emails, whether they are for, pro, or whatever. And so please go ahead and do that. That's what I would encourage.
Thank you. Good point. Mr. Furley.
Sorry, and just want to clarify to members of the public, the committee meeting set for parks on 125, that'll likely be sometime between 3:30 and, say, 5:30 or 6. It will not be the 7 o'clock meeting. So the committee meeting takes place earlier, and that'll be the opportunity for public input that day. But like other council members have said, there will be another opportunity later, and then a full council hearing on the 8th.
And hopefully we set that towards the back end of the agenda.
That will be published. At the time of that committee meeting will be published.
Okay, anything else on unfinished? Seeing none, we'll go to new business. Any new business from the council? Mr. Davis?
Two things. In the coming week, you will see another request to ratify another resolution that we had already passed regarding Skylar Colfax and the vice president burial site, because we sent a letter out from the council about a year and a half ago, and we have not heard back, but we would like to make sure that the burial site for Skylar Colfax is representative of a vice president of the United States, like other cities have done. So, and then on this coming Wednesday, over at Rum Village Neighborhood Association meeting, which is held at the Rum Village Nature Center, right off Gertrude there. There will be a meeting at 6 o'clock to discuss the homeless development that is being done by the South Bend Heritage. So you all are welcome to come. That action has already been through the council, but you have already seen the emails and I've encouraged the people to meet ahead of time so we can have a peaceful meeting.
Okay, thank you. Any other new business? At this time, we'll open up to privilege of the floor. This is the point in the meeting where members, citizen members can come to the council. You are to speak to the council, not to other people. The council will not reply or answer questions. You have 3 minutes. You need to state your name and address, and you cannot talk about anything on tonight's agenda. And a veteran of privilege of the floor is up. Show them how it's done.
Jesse Davis, P.O. Box 10205, South Bend, Indiana. I just want to welcome the new council members and say hello again to a new year with the ones that are returning. And I left my privilege of the floor at home, so I guess I'm just briefly going to say I have heard a lot of people talking about tiny houses as an affordable housing option. A lot of people are interested in having that come to fruition somewhere in South Bend, and they think it would be great. We've also heard a lot of input about tiny houses being a very viable solution to a homeless problem, which we're all aware we have one here in South Bend. So I will be back here numerous times and hoping I can get some council members, I've already talked to some, to help us change some ordinances, maybe some zoning issues that we run into, and maybe building issues that we run into with that, so that we can actually make a push forward with the tiny house project, not only for folks who would love to live affordably so they have more money to spend on enjoyment, but also to help our homeless people here in our community.
Thank you. One clarification, the privilege of floor that I forgot to mention is each member has 3 minutes, and Mr. Furlick is timing. And there is a total of 30 minutes for privilege of the floor. So, and that's recorded time. Mr. Furley, whenever you're ready.
Oh, you're good.
Samuel Brown, 222 East Navarre Street, City of South Bend. I represent a watchdog group called Citizen United. And I would like to welcome all the new council members to 2016. I would just like to make this brief, because I've really been fighting the cold all day. They haven't got the information back to the president and the president city council on the Martin Luther King street renaming. It's going a little slower than what I want, but we're going to get it done though. It just, you know how it is. Sometimes things don't move as fast as you want to. I guess it's called patient on my end. But we're still doing a lot of research. hopefully we'll get this done. Before I close, I guess on my end of it, it's hard for me to make some kind of decision because I hear stuff like, do we need a street off the Martin Luther King? Is it important to the community? And the answer is yes. Dr. King record speaks for itself. And I feel proud to be on this committee. And one thing about me, you know I'm not going to sell out. I'm going to fight all the way to get it done right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Nikki Stilson, and I live at 62555 Poppy Road, South Bend. So I just wanted to introduce myself, letting you guys know I am a tiny house owner, and I'm one of the founding members of Michiana Tiny House Enthusiasts. And so my purpose coming to you guys tonight is just to make you guys aware that there is a growing interest in our community for tiny houses, both stationary and on wheels. And I really would like to see the City Council as an ally for us as we continue to work with the city in amending its codes to allow tiny houses within our city and within the county. So obviously we need to think about why this would be good for South Bend, and I've come up with a few reasons. Tiny houses attract a wide range of both creative and professional people. Not just millennials, which I know is the big market that everyone is looking for in business, is getting those millennials into the job market, but also some people that would be more in the retiree crowd as well, and all the way through. I also know that the city has vacant lots that they're trying to fill, and I think tiny houses could be a very good opportunity to fill those with, as well as lots that may be too small for traditional housing. And I also think it would help as we continue our goal being a 21st century city. I know that's something to that effect is on whenever you drive into the city. So as long as we can continue to do that, I think that will help move us forward. I really think that I know that there's several people that are going to talk to you about this. I know that as we go, as you hear from all of them, we really want to partner with you. That's why we're here. This is, I think, something that's going to be beneficial. Many cities across the nation have already figured out how to make it work. And I know we've done a lot of research on that. And so we're hoping that you guys will be an ally with us.
Thank you. Next, name and address, please.
Hi there, my name is April Adinsky. I live at 536 South Sunnyside Avenue. I wanted to thank everybody for South Bend, and I wanted to thank everybody for your service. I'm so excited to see all these new faces up here, so thank you. I really respect the work that you do. So I also am here to champion the tiny house. I'm a women's and gender studies professor at IU South Bend, but I also have the privilege of teaching in our sustainability program, and so I teach about tiny houses. And I had what I thought was a really optimistic meeting about a year ago with Jatin Kane and Elizabeth Meredith and Angela Smith about the possibilities of tiny houses here. I think all of us here really appreciate that there are codes, there are county codes and city codes, and in particular it sounds like the state codes can be kind of sticky, so, but I also think that we've got a lot of creative thinkers here. I want to echo what Nikki Stilson said about being a 21st century city and what we could do to infill, get more vibrancy downtown. I think there's some real possibilities. I've learned a lot from Nikki. I'm also part of this Michiana Tiny House Enthusiasts group. People come from all walks of life there. As an educator, I am also a learner, and one of the ideas that came out of that initial meeting with Jatin Kane was the possibility of just building a little pilot project downtown, and that might be one way to start really thinking about this, is building a couple of these downtown so that people can go inside them and think about sustainability issues and practice just sort of thinking about what it would really look like here. So I hope that you'll work with us and continue this conversation a little bit. We're optimistic. I think you've got a lot of creative thinkers in line behind me, and we look forward to the conversation. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Anna Shirk, and I do not currently have an address because my tiny house has been displaced in South Bend. I would also like to talk about tiny houses and just small sustainable living in general. I think that's definitely a need for South Bend and something that a lot of people are interested in. And sometimes city ordinances and zoning laws make it really difficult to accomplish that. I think some of the reasons that tiny houses would be a really positive thing in South Bend is that it's affordable housing for millennials and an alternative way of living as we're trying to keep more millennials and draw more business ventures and opportunities into South Bend. As Nikki said, I think it would also be a great use of vacant lots. I know that's been a big issue in the city, just with overgrown lawns and it just being a place for people to dump trash. Whether it's for communities, as April also suggested, for multiple tiny houses or just one house and there can be gardens and just beautifying of the city. I think that would be fantastic. I think it's also potential for transitional housing for homeless, just to get people back on their feet. And I know that's a completely different program than millennials and whatnot. And there's different people that are interested in heading that up. It reduces carbon footprint as well. It's just a smaller way of living. And I think I looked up recently that a house has to be 600 or 900 square feet just to build in South Bend. And there are a lot of people who are just interested in living smaller than that and living more simply than that. I'm not saying that tiny houses are for everyone, but it's my American dream as a millennial and as a citizen of South Bend. And I have a lot to offer to South Bend in income taxes and business ventures and would love to continue contributing to South Bend. So I would love to exchange contact information with city council members who are interested in being advocates and allies in this as we set up petitions and go to talk to zoning boards about this. Thank you very much.
Miss, just one thing. You don't have to have a South Bend address to speak. If you have an address somewhere else, we need it for the record.
Okay. My mailing address is 3415 Pleasant Street, South Bend, 46615. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please. You can all move up a little bit if you want.
Move up.
The crowd behind you.
Oh.
Just to speed things up. Go ahead. Name and address.
Yes, my name is Jennifer Betts. I live at 511 South St. Joseph Street. We are here as teachers, students, parents, professionals, and long-term residents of this wonderful city of South Bend. I just wanted to take a moment to welcome the new members to the council. We are very excited to have you all here and to have another great year here in South Bend through using truly open, participatory, and transparent processes for our city. There's a lot of energy around innovative thinking, as we just saw, and living in harmony with nature, and I think we can find some really great creative solutions for the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next, name and address, please.
Good evening. My name is Margaret File, and I also live at 511 South St. Joseph Street in South Bend. And I teach social ethics at Notre Dame. Just wanted to, as Jen did, welcome you all, especially the new council members. Thank you for your service. And to say that from the perspective of social ethics, our parks, the park system in general, in any major metropolitan area is absolutely vital to the quality of our lives together, especially in a city that is contending with great violence on our streets. We need to be attentive to the fact that there is documented evidence that more green space and safe space for people to interact with nature actually reduces crime rates and reduces recidivism. It's part of the common good that we hold together, and it's not something that we can measure in economic terms alone. We have to be thinking, as our opening prayer invited us tonight, of generations to come, including the health of our planet in the decades and centuries and millennia ahead of us. What sort of good can we cultivate and pass on to those who will come after us? And that includes all of creation, as our friend from the Pokagon Band of the Potawatomi reminded us. Thank you for your work.
Thank you. Next, name and address, please.
I am Andrew Tucker. I live at 127 South 34th Street, South Bend in District 4. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this evening. I work as an ecologist with a nonprofit conservation organization here in town, and I'd like to briefly share some thoughts regarding how communities like ours can preserve natural areas. And there are a number of different options, but I want to just talk briefly about two basic models. And the first, of course, is public ownership.
Sir?
Yes?
Just want to say you're getting very close.
Okay, I'll continue and...
Generalities, please.
The first is public ownership and maintenance, which I think is ideal because it ensures preservation of assets entrusted to the local citizenry. At the local level, public ownership can be achieved through leveraging partnerships with local universities and nonprofit groups, or with assistance through federal and state grants, like those that are available through things like the Land and Water Conservation Fund or community forestry grant programs. A second model is partnership with the Land Trust that has experience in protection and restoration of natural areas. These are nonprofit groups that receive funds to acquire, preserve, and restore natural areas through member donations, public grants, business and foundation investments, and other government programs. Although land trusts are private entities, public access to trust-owned lands is typical, and land trusts generally operate in ways that promote the public good. For example, land trusts often maintain trails for recreational uses that promote health and wellness, or they offer events and educational programs for school children and interested citizens to promote community awareness and engagement. And I think either of these models is consistent with the aim to create opportunities for local residents to engage with their natural environment and to develop a better sense of place, which ultimately translates into an increased likelihood to stay in the community and to build a future. So in essence, these models are consistent with and support an idea that's been presented recently in the Regional Cities of Northern Indiana Development Plan, namely in the language of that plan, that place-based success factors, things like productivity, connectivity, density, and amenities are the foundation of communities that attract and retain people. According to the plan, the amenities wedge,
Sir, you have 30 seconds.
Success factor pie, consists of recreational assets, parks, and trail systems. So given this definition, it's clear that natural areas which can provide all of these amenities are key to success. So anyway, I look forward to the opportunity to work with you and others in the community to protect natural areas, and I thank you again for your time.
Thank you. And the last one for tonight.
Thank you. I'm Christy Haas. I live at 3808 Clydesdale Drive, Apartment 3B, and that's in District 1. And I simply wanted to reiterate the point that natural areas in general, including natural areas that are administered by the city, are more than their financial value. And so we thank you on the council for your service to this democratic process, which allows citizens like us to contribute to the future of our city, including the role of parks for our children's education, our recreation, and our economic development. Thank you very much.
Thank you. One last thing before we go. We are taking applications where you can get with the clerk's office or online with the city. For citizen members for the committees, we have 11 standing committees. Only 10, sorry. 10 take citizen membership. If you are a member or you live within the city of South Bend, you can fill out an application, be considered to be on a standing committee, and have voting rights for recommendations to this Common Council. Mr. Davis.
Could you share also about public access and online, the city's website?
The city website, there is public access. All the records are there. Also, these meetings are streamed online. Is that what you're referring to? For data, for your information, and there's historic on YouTube of these meetings as well. And WNIT has Channel 99, the public access, where these meetings are held for 2 hours. Anything over that, then it's cut off. So, just some general information. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Jen. You all right? Yeah. Was it healed? Usually, the other one, Janice used to have all the bills in front of her ready to go. I can sign them right then. Usually I'll do it. I can sign them all. That way you can get them to the mayors and sign them over no time. Okay. So if you got anything... Okay. All right. I won't be in tomorrow. I don't think there's anything of urgency. I might be, but it'll be... No, I won't. It'll be really late. I get up at 4 o'clock in California. So, Wednesday, I'll be here to sign. All right. If you wish to email when everything's ready, we'll get back. Good job, everybody. Thank you for this, Scott. Appreciate it. That's great.
If you're going to complain about it, what do they do now? No, it's public broadcast. Who airs it? Yes, Channel 99. Actually, we made that comment today to clarify. Who gets the check? WNIC. At least they're up to date more than they were, because they were wasting it. Is that what it is? Well, I know that, but I mean,
I know, I love it.
But don't we send them a feed? I mean, they take the feed. They don't have anybody here, and they take the feed from us. And so they're not sending people here. What's so hard is it copy and rebroadcast. They're like $60,000. Happy New Year. How you just tell it? Good to see you. You know you're a dog. And you know I'm talking about you. Wait a minute.